So, welcome to our first haul of the year. So, still in our cat suit because we were time traveling today, which means this was in fact recorded last year in an effort over a holiday period for me to get some things taken care of. I decided to sit down and do a bunch of videos. So here we are. For those who don't know, on Tuesdays I like to do haul videos, usually art hauls, sometimes intuitive or magic hauls, do a biz haul every now and then, happy mail, whatever. But lately I have been really into doing loot lists, which is just sharing some kind of personal things that I'm interested in, that I collect, things for myself that I enjoy, that you might also enjoy. So without further ado, I'm Aradia Noir, your resident witch and creatrix over at Aradia's Hand and Divinity's Divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life through art, intuition, and energy work. And here we are. So we have another pop haul. The last haul of the year, a couple weeks ago, was the first of the pops, and this is the second. So one we could celebrate a big pop, which is very nice. Got 5 this time. Woo! And I will say I got these like forever ago. I got them when I had the space and time to do it. But I continued my collection of the Five Nights at Freddy's. So I've got the Withered Bonnie and a Ruined Roxy. The Sea Bean is obsessed with Roxy, but also Vanny. And apparently, as I just learned while I was looking for links, there's a Vanny and a Glitch Trap, and a couple more. So I haven't seen all of those, but those are different ones. So this continues my collection from the Withered series, which I started. I've got Freddy and Chica. I haven't shared it yet, but I do have Foxy. And so that's all with this next huge one. This is Mangle. Mangle is gigantic. It's one of my this is my big pop. This is my first, not my first special pop, but my first big pop, because I also have a Stan Lee. With the comic background, which I thought was really awesome. So I have still yet to read any of the stuff. I've seen the movie. The Sea Bean is like obsessed with them, and she likes spooky weird shit. And so here we go. Because her mom likes spooky weird shit. But then that concludes the Withered, and I will get to Roxy or Foxy, because this is Roxy. And Roxy has the Ruined, which means, so the big difference between them, and I guess if you're not familiar with it, is the Ruined is a little bit of damage. It's like a little bit of damage to the characters, right? The Ruined are a lot of damage to the characters. So they are like completely destroyed, faces are off, and they look like creepy, scary animatronic monsters, because that's what they are, basically. Roxy was like this very much so 1980s rock star wolf, which is just gives hilarity to the fact that my child loves them. So there you go. She's also a bit of a diva, and yeah, I would say the Sea Bean is kind of it's giving diva a little bit. And then of course, because I was feeling nostalgic, I had to get Grouchy Smurf. They also have Vanity Smurf, Smurfette, and Handy Smurf. But honestly, Grouchy Smurf and Smarty Smurf would be the ones that I would want. Anybody who's grouchy, like Grouchy the one of the 7 dwarves, and Grumpy the bear from the Care Bears, I love those so much, which probably makes sense of why I like the baby so much, because they are grumpy. And then finally, we've got the little young Grinch, who just looks like he doesn't know what's going on. It was too cute. I couldn't help it. The Grinch, Max the dog, and Cindy Lou Who are the other ones, but honestly, I probably would just stop at this. Max is cool, but I'm not, like, if I was gonna get Max, then I would want to get Zero from, like, Nightmare Before Christmas. That's pretty much it. So, I'm continuing my collection of them. I got these from a different Second and Charles. There are 2 in the town that I live in, or thereabouts. One's actually up the street from me. The other one is clear across town, like a good 30 minutes. And I had seen Mangle, and I said, no, I don't want to get that one. Then I was like, then I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I'm like, yes, you do. And I actually went all the way to the store, hoping to get Bonnie and Roxy, because when I went to get them, I said, oh no, I'll just get these. I'll just get these. I won't. And then I came back to the store to get all of them, and they had half of them. And so then that led to me going to 2 different stores, which was just great. So like the other pops, they've been just kind of sitting in the box by the door waiting for me to get to the point where I can deal with them. I just really wanted to be able to deal with them before I went and put them away, because what I have noticed over the last year is that if I do start to put things away, the likelihood that I will get around to sharing it and using it for content is very low, because I will have to then look for it, and did I separate it, did I put it away, yeah, I might have, and then it's a whole thing. Not to mention, receipts are it's heat-based ink, which means if it gets hot enough, it fades, and then I can't even reference that to like, hey, what is this for? So I try to do things rather quickly, at least take pictures of stuff so I know these things were bought together. And like I said with the last video about these, I'm probably gonna make like a Five Nights at Freddy's like area, because I have a bunch of books. I have a bunch of dolls now, and probably will get more figures and other paraphernalia as it goes along. And so it just makes sense. The Grinch and Grouchy are going to go on my desk. I know, was it last time I was trying to remember who I had on my desk, and I've got Pride versions of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. I've got Raphael. I have Angel with little headset, little gamer Angel from Lilo and Stitch. And then I've got Dante the Alebrije. And so now I'm going to add Grouchy and the Young Grinch, because it's kind of got like a villain bad guy vibe, like angry on my desk, and I feel like those two really fit kind of the vibe I've got going on. So it's just the entire front of my desk is just going to be pops. I'm probably going to make Mangle the centerpiece, I think, because it's so big. But yeah, that's it. So as with the other ones, I've had a really hard time finding links to share with y'all. For this one, I've got Bonnie and Mangle. I could not find any of the others. So, and I shared it directly from the Funko website, because that is easier to share than other things. And that's who makes them. So if you're going to order it, you might be able to find it there, you might not. But other than that, yep, that's the next pop haul. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else for y'all, honestly. Looking. So if you want to see pictures, you can scroll into the post below. I would love to know, do you have any of these? Do you collect pops? Do you have a certain fandom or series that you like? Share it in the comments below. And then you can see the links to the 2 that I was able to find. You can also see the links to my websites, my social media. And, you know, as time goes on and I get everything set up, you might be able to catch glimpses of these as I upgrade my streaming, which is one of the goals for this year, is to kind of get my streaming set up, upgraded a little more, and then maybe I can be one of those people where I can be on the screen and you get to see my little setup and my little, you know, huzzah. We'll see. I don't know. Working on it. I'm gonna get the baby, and it's gonna get drafted to help out. But other than that, because you stayed to the end, what are we doing tomorrow, friends? Well, tomorrow is going to be a work in progress Wednesday. So we're gonna touch on what we set for intentions yesterday, talk about how we're doing project time and everything like that tomorrow, and I will chat with you then. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. I am a little scattered. This is what happens when I do multiple videos. I start to get to the point where I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm like, oh, the ADC is kicking in really hard. I don't know. But that's it. So until tomorrow, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye, y'all. And I will chat with you later, and we'll check in tomorrow. Toodles.